What is up guys, Luca here, and I have some exciting news for you. So this past year, Blizzard's been teasing Overwatch exclusive LEGO sets, and they're finally revealed today actually, if you haven't seen any sort of leaks for it and stuff like that. So the guys at Brothers Brick were kind enough to go and compile all of the pictures and stuff for you, so I'm gonna go through it with you right now. If you want to see it by yourself, link in the description below. Let's get right to it. So in the very beginning, when Blizzard and LEGO were going to make Overwatch sets, you know, people were like, well, what are they going to make sets out of? You have the characters in Overwatch, you don't really have a lot of iconic, let's say, vehicles or locations, but you know, they actually managed to do it. And as we go through it, I want you guys to let me know what you think. Obviously I'll give you what I think as well. And right off the bat, the very first set is set number 75970, Tracer versus Widowmaker. If you see the set itself, just right off the cover of the box, it's set in Watchpoint Gibraltar. And if you look at the set closely, well, you don't really have to look that close. Tracer is riding the payload of the map itself, and I find it really funny because is that actually a vehicle that you ride on? It's like, you know, there's no vehicles in Overwatch. I just find it a really interesting concept for the LEGO set itself. But yeah, you have Tracer, you have Widowmaker, and then you have this little payload. The set itself, it has a pretty low piece count, 129 pieces for $15. Some people might find that pretty pricey. Now, if we go over to the other side of the box, we have Tracer and Widowmaker fighting each other, you know, their little old rivalry that you see in the cinematics or in the lore of Overwatch. And the one thing I find really funny about this set is that there are no custom molds for either of their guns. So it's actually just a mishmash of pieces that makes the little pulse pistols that Tracer has, or like Widowmaker's sniper, which I think looks hilarious. I mean, look at their sniper, which I think looks hilarious. I mean, look at that thing. It looks nothing like the game. It's just a mix, and it is just a mishmash of a bunch of pieces to make that sniper rifle. I think it looks really steampunkish. Let me know what you think in the comments below, but yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Next up, we have set number 75971, Hanzo versus Genji. Now, I thought this set was pretty cool because Hanamura is a pretty iconic looking place, and to show that off, we have a little shrine. It is 197 pieces at $19, so slightly more than the Tracer and Widowmaker because of the piece count. And I really like this because we get 3 minifigures. We get Hanzo, we get Genji, and we get the security guy from the cinematic, if you remember the Hanzo vs Genji cinematic where he takes out a bunch of security guards. So we have Genji and Hanzo with their own kind of simple molds, a sword and a bow. You know, it's pretty alright. Genji has a green sword, Hanzo has this blue bow, kind of coinciding with their colors. What I really like about this set is I like the Hanamura looking architecture. We have a bunch of the Japanese characters, we have a sword stand and stuff like that, and if you look on the other side of the box, you have their little iconic fight scene from the cinematic, and I think it's really cool as well. So yeah, it's a really interesting play piece like the previous set. You know, you can have the two brothers fight, duking it out. I also think it'll make a little nice display piece because look how cool it looks. Look at the colors and stuff, all bright and vibrant. Next up, we have set number 75972, Dorado Showdown. It comes with 3 minifigures and a whopping 419 pieces at $30. Now, what I really like about this set is just like the previous Hanamura set, and unlike the Tracer and Widowmaker set, we have a more clear definition of the map itself. We have Dorado, we have the arch, we have the marketplace, and we have the payload. And with this many pieces in the set, it is easy to see why they would choose to do a very iconic looking piece. And it's a really cool play piece as well. And if you look, the truck is like, it's a hover truck, but if you look very, very close, there are like little wheels under the truck and stuff like that. I really like the Reaper minifigure. I think it's funny how his guns aren't molds, they're like little bricks and blocks. It is pretty cute as well. And at the back, you see there's like a little action scene where they're all like pretty much fighting over the payload. And we have some more pictures here where it's just showing off the set in its entirety. I find it so funny how Soldier is driving the payload, especially since, you know, none of the characters in the actual Overwatch game ever drive anything. But yeah, pretty cool stuff, pretty cool stuff. Now this next set is one that I myself thought was really cool, and I'm looking forward to getting it. It's set number 75973, Diva and Reinhardt, at also another whopping 455 pieces at $40, so more than the previous set in Dorado. But what I found really cool about this was ever since the announcement for Blizzard Overwatch set pieces, I have always wanted a Diva set, you know, with her and her mech, her little minifigure inside the mech, and we're getting it right now. And I'm pretty surprised that it's being matched with Reinhardt. And look at Reinhardt, he's an absolute unit. He does not have a minifigure. I'm not sure what happens if you take the helmet off. But yeah, he is huge. I mean, just like in the game, right? He's a huge dude and a huge piece of armor, so yeah. And so with this set, they're not selling a map with it. That's why it's a bunch of different map pieces to show off in the art. What I really like about this would be playing with the Diva and seeing how the Reinhardt works. You know, is the headpiece just one mold? Is there actually a minifigure head inside there? I don't think so. Who knows? I find the Reinhardt hammer really cool. And next up, we have set number 75974 Bastion. It's a lot of pieces. It's 602 pieces at $50. And what's really cool about this Bastion is if you know the set number 75897 Omnic Bastion, the tinier Blizzard one you can get right now on the Blizzard shop, this one is a much more detailed version of that, and it's a much more playable version of it, I'd say. You can transform it a lot easier, it moves a lot more fluidly than the previous Bastion set, which is a lot smaller, and it's a lot more detailed, which I find really impressive. I'm looking very much forward to this. Not only do you have Bastion in Omnic form and Bastion in turret form, you also get a little Ganymede. It's the little bird that's Bastion's friend. I think it looks really cool, and I'm looking forward to this as a display piece for me personally, but I can see how it's also a play piece. I'm not sure if it's minifig compatible because look how big it is. It looks huge. I think Bastion is slightly smaller than Reinhardt, so it'd be really cool to put them all side by side and see how they stack up against each other in terms of size. And for the final piece, we have set number 75975, Watchpoint Gibraltar, which is something you can actually use with the Tracer and Widowmaker set, you know, together in tandem since they're in the same map. So we have the final point, which is the rocket, and this set comes with a whopping 4 minifigures: Winston, Mercy, Pharah, and Reaper. And the Winston minifigure looks really cool. It's like a custom mold. He's kind of big, he's kind of burly, he's a gorilla after all. It is at $90, which is pretty expensive for 730 pieces, but I think it looks pretty cool. We have the shuttle in the last point. You can also pair it up with the Tracer and Widowmaker, like I said earlier, to bring, like, you know, the payload going to the final point. It is pretty cool, and I like that Mercy minifigure. It looks awesome with those wings. And yeah, if you can look close enough, you see Pharaoh. Is it Pharaoh? If you look close enough, you can see Pharah inside the shuttle, which I thought was pretty funny. But you can see her better in the back. So Pharah Mercy is an actual thing here because check it out. They're aware, you know. This is a very cool set to display and to play with because Overwatch is a competitive game where you get these little cool characters fighting each other, and it's a really cool play set, I think, and it's a nice big set to have. You know, out of all the things that make an expensive and multi-piece Overwatch set with, I'm glad it's this one. It's pretty cool. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. One last thing, I'm not sure as of right now if these are available commercially, because they're going to be available in January of next year, so they're most likely going to be available commercially. There is one set though, the little Omnic Bastion, you can get in the Blizzard store at this very moment. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button, it's much appreciated. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.